Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Yellow Studio Live. Something's in my eye edition. Oh. As soon as I started, I was like, oh, there's something in my eye. Chat just connected. Please wait while we try to reconnect you. Successfully reconnected. Okay, thanks. Hello, welcome back to the Yellow Studio Live. It's Monday and we're back after a weekend away. I am all rested. I had a very lovely weekend. I feel like this light is going to be way too bright today. I went a little brighter because it's daylight out now, and I thought my light wasn't quite bright enough, but now I can see I'm like all shiny. So it's going to be what it is. It might just be getting brighter and brighter as the evening goes on. If you're here, say hello in the chat. Tonight we are going to work on the infamous Storybook creation. Last time we left off, I had ordered the Storybook from Prodigy, and update, I got an email saying it's on its way. I'm very excited. Also a little bit nervous because I don't know if there's any quality check or anything with them. They didn't show me an example of what it would look like before it printed. Even just on the computer screen, there was no ability to make sure the pages were laid out properly, nothing like that. So I sent them a PDF and we will see what we get. Risky. I'd say that's risky. It's not an option I would normally choose if I weren't, live and doing things in the moment. So what we did is we decided to also try Printify's photo book, hardback photo book for the Storybook as well. And we got started designing that in Canva, but then I quickly ran into the issue that we really needed to download the templates for the pages because they want a PNG for each page versus a PDF of the entire Storybook. So I went ahead and downloaded those, and I was going to just work on it on my own and send in the order. And I quickly noticed that this was like such a great learning experience for you gals and guys, if there are any guys here tonight. And I just thought it would be a really cool way to see how I designed the other version with a downloaded template from the printer. Now, using a template can be really great for many kinds of products. And some products you won't need one for, or some products you'll be so used to designing for, you'll know the exact dimensions of what you want and how to make it work. For example, when I order the skater dresses from Printful, I learned quickly early on that if you just upload the same 30 by 40 inch file to the top part of the dress and the bottom part of the dress, that it is going to be a different size on the top. The print, the pattern will be smaller, compressed on the top, and then wider, bigger on the bottom, which is really interesting. But if you download their template and put the pattern, same everything on that template page, you'll get exactly matching top and bottom pattern. Now, sometimes it's kind of cute to have it smaller on the top, bigger on the bottom. You might want that, but something to note. So it's always good. My rule is always order a sample the first time you're getting a new product type. It doesn't have to be for every product you create. But at least the first product type, or if you're doing something extremely different with that product type all of a sudden. Maybe you've always printed just front center t-shirt designs and you know which t-shirt you love. You love a Hanes, or you love a Bella, or you love whatever t-shirt, and so you just order it with the front center design, no big deal. Well, now you're thinking about getting embroidery on a t-shirt, or sleeve print on a t-shirt, or an all-over print t-shirt. Then you want to order a sample again and make sure that the quality is what you want, that your design is translating well to that product type, etc. So let's get started tonight. If I didn't say it already, if you're here, say hi in the chat. Welcome, welcome. We are going to go to Canva first. Let me pull up the page I want first so that it will put it at the top. Okay. So here we are, and we're in Canva. This is the document that has the template underneath. And I'm going to show you, I'll just copy this page so I don't screw up what I already did, but you can see back here, I'm going to read these images. And you can see here, I've uploaded the template that they've given me. The template calls for an 11.5 by 8.5 custom hardcover book. But the template, the cover is printed as one piece. And that's not always the case. Every printer is going to do things differently. So this printer is printing the cover as one piece. So we need the front cover and back cover on one extended piece, because when it folds in half, it's 11.5 by 8.5. But when it opens, it's an 11.5 times 2 by 8.5. So now it's 23 times 8.5 by 8.5. So that's what I did. I created that size file, uploaded the template here, and then I took my images and let's just group that. So it's grouped. And I copied it from the book page. I went over here. This was the original book. I went here and I copied this image and the text and everything, brought it over here to where the template is, and pasted on. Oh, why did it give me that? Copy, copy, paste. So now we've got it in here, ready to go. And on the other side, we need the back cover. Something else I noticed is when I downloaded it, you can see that I've overlapped this line here in the center, like where the image goes over the spine. What I noticed is when I lined them up exactly, or it felt like exactly, when I downloaded the file, there was a gap between the two. So what I decided to do, just in case, and I do this often with printing because just in case is always better than having a white line somewhere that didn't get printed or an edge that didn't get printed. You want edge to edge printing as best as you can get. And so what I did is I went ahead and dragged this over a smidge bigger than the other one, so that way that spine is going to be covered with image no matter what. So that's what I did. You could also take this and put it to the spine, and take this and put it to the spine. And then you could fill the spine with a color. Actually, let's try that, because I think that might look nice. So then I'm going to go to elements. I'm going to add a triangle, or rectangle, a rectangle, and I'm going to put it in there. And actually, I'm just going to put it there, and I'm going to move it to the back anyway. So I'm not worried about it being on top of there. And then I'm going to go ahead and make it a color from the image itself, which I'm not getting any. Normally it will give you some examples of the colors, but that's okay. I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to pick like a pretty gray, like a dark, pretty charcoal gray to go in there. So now what I can do is go on position and go to layers and move that behind the two cover images. And then my spine could be a color here in the center for the text to be written on. And that actually might look a lot nicer and make the text more readable on the edge, etc. And the gray looks nice because it matches the whole color scheme overall. Hi, Beth. Welcome, welcome. Oh, she says pink spine. Pink would be cute too. Pink would be cute. Pink. Yeah, pink is very cute too. It's a little bit different than our pink because the pink is glowing. I wonder if I went here. Let's see. Mess around with the pink. I feel like it should be a little more gray. Something like that. Yeah, that's very cute. So then we have our, I'm going to download one of each since I can't choose. It's very cute. I like the pink. It's very cute. So then we have our cover, and now our cover art is the exact size to their dimensions, and it's filling up the space properly. As you can move this away, and you can see how, actually what I'll do is I'll put it on here and then arrange the transparency. And then we can see our lines here where everything is going to be. So the red line is where anything could potentially get cut off. So you don't want any text or anything super vital to be outside of that red line. I think I'm going to actually, because of that, I'm going to pull this down a little bit more because I want some of that lighthouse to for sure be in there. So now we've got them and the lighthouse. We don't have any text on the back cover, so we don't have to worry about that. And so it all looks pretty good. So I'm going to put the transparency back up. And then I'm going to turn it down on this side. And we're going to make sure, see, our text is, anything inside the green line is great for text. You want all your text inside the green line, anything vital within that red line, and we look pretty good. So I'm going to move that back up. So now we have a cover. We have a front and back cover. We're super happy with that. I'm going to download them as PNGs so they stay high quality. I'm also going to bump it all the way up to the max so that we get the highest resolution we can, because for printing, we want as high resolution as we can get. As high a resolution the printer will allow us to upload, so that it can be printed beautifully when they print it. So now our first page is going to be a right page, because when we open the book, we're going to, this is going to be hard to do backwards, but when you open the book, your first page will be a right-hand page. It'll be on the right-hand side of the book, and we'll read, and then we'll flip, and now we'll have left and right, left and right. So our first page is a right-hand page. So I went ahead and set this up with their template for the right-hand page. And then I'm going to go and get we're going to go here and get our first page. I'm just going to select all of this and copy it. And I'm going to go back to my right page and hit paste. So now you can see how off it would have been if it was just how we had it. So now, oops, I want to select all except that background. So now we want, let's put this about there. Okay, so now this we need to stretch out again a little, bring it over to the right. And this, and this look pretty good. Make sure they're in the center here, center this way. Actually, I'm good with that. Oh yeah, that's right. I want my one over there. But then I want this and this. About here. Okay, so now we can see that our text and our numbering and our graphic are all within the safe zone. If we reduce the transparency on our image, we can see what we're going to lose, what we could lose outside of the red zone. and what's safe inside of the red zone. So we're pretty good there. Everything looks like it's in there. His suitcase, him, the lighthouse, the path. We're pretty good on that. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that one as is. Now in this case, in the first case with the cover, because we covered it completely with images, I wasn't concerned about this template being in there, but we can't leave it in there now that we have information on it. And then they can see the template. Whatever you can see is going to be printed. So I'm just going to make a copy of this because we're going to need that right-hand template again. And I'm going to delete the right-hand template, make sure it still looks nice, visually once we've removed it. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to say right-hand page 1 and download page, just the current page. Save download setting. Oh, I want PNG. I don't know why it keeps going back to a GIF. I downloaded one GIF the other day and now it just won't do anything but GIFs. Okay, so I'm going to put it to the maximum download size. Download the page. So now we need a left-hand page. So I'm going to go create a new page and do custom size. And we're going to do 11.5 by 8.5 again. And go to that side and get our templates. And I put them in the Storybook folder. And now we want our left page, which is here. So our second page is going to be a left page. Going to get that. And notice how our left page has more room on the right-hand side because that's where the spine is going to be. And that's where the paper needs more room to go down into the spine and not be printed on. So there's more space here that isn't safe in that green zone, that's outside the green zone, because that's the part that's going to fold into the binding of the book. And so when we were on the right-hand page, we'll look on the left-hand side, you have less safe zone because it needs more paper to go down into the binding on that side. So then we're going to go back to our left, I'm going to type in left page, and this is going to be page 2. And I'm going to go for item, our original book, and I'm just going to copy and come over here and paste. And now move our things around. So I'm going to move that around. Now I can decide, do I want the image to go into the fold, or do I want it to have white on the other side so that none of the image is missing into the fold? I'm going to go ahead and go all the way up against the fold because I just like how that looks better. But there are going to be cases where you wouldn't want to do that if there's something really important in the image that you don't want to end up in the fold. I'm okay with some of the image ending up in the fold. That's fine. And I want to keep this actually the same size as the other one. So I'm going to keep that. And then I'm going to take this stuff and move it over here. And I'm going to move these over just a smidge here. And I like how that looks. But because we're going to need that left-hand page template again, I'm going to make a copy. And I'm going to remove that background, the template, and make sure it still looks nice visually. And I'm going to download left-hand page. Put it to the maximum size. And yeah, we're on PNG. I don't know why it won't save download settings right now, but that's fine. Okay, so now we're getting in the swing of things. We have 2 pages downloaded, and now we just need to go to our third page, which is going to be a right page. We're going to alternate right, left, right, left. So our odds are going to be right pages, our evens are going to be left pages. The backs of the right pages. Okay, so then we're going to go here and we're going to go get a right-hand page. And I'm going to just duplicate this and move it down and take these items off. And I'm going to go back to my booklet, hit the next page, copy, come over here, paste. I'm going to let it be in the fold. And I feel like now I want a guide. So I'm going to do Shift R for the rulers. And I'm going to go here and make sure I have a guide for where my center is. I was on center. Okay. But it's always good to make sure you're on center so that everything lines up in the book as you flip through. Okay, so now I'm going to, I can double check what's going to be missing in the fold here. It's not very much, nothing too important. That both characters are within the green zone, so we're pretty safe on that one. I'm going to delete the background and call this page 3. And I'm going to download PNG, just the current page. We have it at the max size and download. Oh, I didn't change tabs. Do you always keep images on the right and text on the left? No, we did do some on the right and some on the left. It just depended on which way the character was facing and which way made sense in the book. I like them to alternate, but not evenly alternate. Like it doesn't have to be every other page is an image, then text, and then swapped, and then swapped, and then swapped. Like this one made sense how the character is facing towards the text. The main big character is facing towards the text, and that just kind of made sense visually for me. For this one also, he's facing towards, like his face is directed towards here where the text is. So in, oh wait, oh no, these are, no, shoot, did I do the wrong pages? Hang on, okay. That was page 1. And then page 3 should be, oops, let me go here. Page 2 should be the kid in the, oh, I was clicking on the wrong thing. Okay, never mind. Sorry. I confused myself there for a second, going back and forth through the pages. I don't normally, when I'm doing this, I'm not normally teaching and doing it. And so I don't usually get as distracted from which one's which. And I thought, oh no, did I grab the wrong page? Okay, so that's the right page for this. Now we're going to go back to a left-hand page. The booklet. This was the last one we got. We're going to go get this one next and grab this. And now for this one, he wasn't facing either way. And because I had all those others on the right, I went ahead and put him on the left because I just wanted to have like a mixture. So I'm going to grab those and we're going to go to the left page. I'm going to make a new one of these and I'm just keeping them in order. So like I put that down below this one. And I'm going to get rid of these elements that were already here from the last time. And I'm going to paste. And now my image, I'm going to pull it to there. And I'm going to go here. Oh, there we go. And then I want this and this about halfway between. Let me get my rulers again and get a halfway between. There we go. Okay, so now I have a guide for that. Why do I have the... Oh, because the left-hand page doesn't always have the character on the left. That's why I'm confusing myself. That says, yes, I did that already when I created pages. Absolutely. Yeah, decided which would go where. Now we're just laying it out for Printify. We already did like the whole book layout in a previous version, I think part 3. And then in part 4, we went ahead and laid it out, adjusted the layout a bit for Prodigy so that it fit their dimensions. And now we're laying it out to fit Printify's dimensions so we can order it from there. So this one looks okay to me. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of, oh, actually, before I do that, I'm going to see what is going to fall into the book edge. And actually on this one, nothing. We're going to get the whole image all the way to the red zone because our image is on the left of a left-hand page. So think about it, when the left-hand page and then the image is on the left-hand side, that means it's going to go all the way to the edge of the paper, not inside the book binding. This wider area here goes inside the book binding. So we're all set on that, and we can remove our template, make sure it still looks nice, and we're going to call this page 4. And I'm going to download that. And I just want the current page done and download. Okay, so now go get the next page here. And we're going to go to hand pages again. And actually, I want to get one with a template. I'll duplicate this and move it to the bottom of my files. I'm going to remove the content on there, and I'm going to paste. Okay, so now I want to move this over. And now because we're on a right-hand side, our image is on the right-hand side on a right-hand page, we're going to do the same thing again. It's going to go all the way to the edge of the paper, which is nice. We don't have to worry as much about losing much outside of that red zone. Then I'm going to take this and this and put it lined up with my guide that I pulled in over here. And since I know I'm not going to lose anything on my image, I'm going to go ahead and just remove the background or the template. This is going to be page 5. And I'm going to download just this page. And it's already set to the max from doing it from before. And there we have our cute little page. Okay, now we'll go to our next page here. And we're going to go to get another page on our left side. I'm going to duplicate this and put it down at the bottom. Get rid of the contents. And I'm going to paste. And again, we're going to have that really awesome thing happen where it's a left-hand page and the image is on the left-hand side. And that's going to give us an image all the way to the print edge. And then I'm going to drag this over until it lines up with my guide. And so I don't need to check that image because it's not falling into the border. If there's anything on the edge of your image you might be worried about losing, I would recommend expanding it in Photoshop so that you have more edge to work with that you can drag off the sides of the page. That way it goes all the way to the edge for the printing. But you can also place images like with white area around them too, like a picture frame almost. It's totally up to your design sensibilities. So I'm going to remove the template, make sure it still looks nice. This is going to be page 6. I'm going to download this one, this page only, and download. And then I'm going to go back to the book. And you can see how this would be quite quick, or pretty quick if you're doing it on your own and not demonstrating. Really pretty fast. Okay, and then I'm going to copy that and get rid of this content. I'm going to pull this image down to there. Get my text. And now this time our left-hand page, our right-hand page has an image on the left, which means it's going to fall into the binding. So we're going to see if I like that or not. And I also need to drag a left-hand guide across about halfway, a right-hand guide so that the text, I can line it up with that guide. Okay, so now I do want to go ahead and do the transparency on this one and see what I'm going to lose. So not too much. Oh, well, some of the lighthouse, anything outside of this green line. So some of the lighthouse at the top, some at the side, maybe one of his eyes. I could, make it bigger this way. But then that starts to change the dimensions of the images on the different pages. So I think I'm going to keep it the same. And I think I might, I like it. Move down. Okay. So I'm okay with that because I'm not losing his arms. I might lose the edge of an eye, one of his extra eyes. But that's okay. And a little tiny bit up here of the lighthouse, but you'll still see that there is a lighthouse. There are these little boats down in the fog. Everything kind of still makes sense. So then I'm going to remove the template, see what it looks like without that. It looks pretty. I did do, Beth, if you weren't here for the part 4, I did make the sides of the pages uneven. So the center of the page will actually fall here in the white as opposed to having the picture go all the way up to the center. I just did that for artistic license. I just wanted to do it that way. So that's how I did it. Actually, though, I feel like this guide needs to move over some. Now that I'm looking at it. And this needs to move over a little. There we go. Just because I've been doing this so many years, I can visually see when it's off. But if you don't know that, then you'll want to count and do the math of where your guide needs to go. Yeah. Is this text 14.9? This did not get bigger. I wonder why that one wasn't bigger on that page. Okay, let's make sure my other ones are 14.9. Yeah, I had increased all the font size on all the pages because I had so much extra room. And then for some reason that page didn't seem to be corrected. Okay, right, page 7. But I also, it might be the one I didn't finish editing because I have so many copies of the book now, trying to make copies for each platform, that it kind of all got unruly there for a bit doing it while I was live. Okay, so I'm going to download just this one. It's at the full size download. And then I'm going to get the next page in the book. When Pip shines his light for the boats. And then we're going to go to a left page and get a new one. And I'm going to move it down. Now I could do this all in one file. Actually, I was just thinking that I could have done this all in one file and then just put a right page, a left page template, a right page template, a left page template. That might have been easier, but now we're doing it this way. So this is how we're doing it. Okay. And then I'm moving this down so the Nana Banana thing isn't in there, logo. And then this. And then I want this and this halfway on the page. And I don't have a guide on this side yet. I think that guide's good, but let me see. Now let's see what we're going to miss on this binding side. So now I'm a little bit concerned because we're missing quite a bit of the lighthouse and half of his hand, which I don't really love. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move him over to where it's green. And I'm going to actually ask Canva to extend it. So let me put the transparency back to 100. Let's go to edit. I think Canva's extend has gotten better, but I'm not sure. We're going to find out. Photoshop, I had still been using Photoshop mostly because it was doing a way better job, but we will try Canva. So I want it to be freeform, and I'm going to drag that out to my edge so it can extend that. Now, it isn't too vital what goes on this edge because it should get cut off, but really ideally it's only going to get cut at the red line. So we do need that much more. It's like almost a 1/4 inch there. So I'm going to go ahead and hit expand and let's see what it does. And I'll see if you guys have any questions. Oh, Delane, hi, welcome. How are you feeling? She's late, but she's here. Beth says it's crazy that each platform needs a separate layout process. Yes, well, and you wouldn't normally be ordering from multiple platforms unless you just couldn't decide between 2 different platforms and you wanted to test both samples. Normally, I would just order from one platform after doing my research. We did the research the other night, and then I would have just picked the one. But because I knew Printify had one also, I kind of wanted to try both, and I don't know Prodigy's quality. So that was another reason I wanted to try both. And so that's where we're at right now. But yeah, they will all have different printing requirements, and printers are the same way. If you order prints from, let's say, poster prints from somewhere, they'll have a different bleed requirement, which bleed is the part out past the red line, the cut line. And the reason they want image past that cut line is that it gets cut by a machine. And so the paper can move slightly or, move around on the platform when it gets cut. And that leaves that little bit of wiggle room, just a teeny bit of wiggle room for the paper to move around a little and still not cut off your vital elements. So that's called a bleed. That little outside edge outside the red line is like your protection so that you don't have a crappy white edge at the outside of your image that you didn't want. And yes, and so some printers, a lot of printers over the years finally do have kind of a standard. Normally it's a 1/4 inch, or I'm sorry, not a 1/4 inch, a 1/16 of an inch. But Some places do have as much of a 1/4 inch. Some places want, I think it depends on how good their printing um, tools are, how good their machinery is. Because if their machinery isn't very good and they know they get a lot of slippage in the pages as they're moving on the printer, or I mean on the cutter, then they might want that 1/4 inch because they're afraid that they're going to lose a lot more space. Whereas a really good printer, or someone who's like has a human manually watching everything get printed, there's so many different aspects to it, but they all will require some different things, different bleeds on the printed files. Beth said there should be a vibe coding app for this. Yeah, I don't know how it would work. It could. I'm sure it could. I'm sure somebody really good at apps could make it work for sure. Oh, Delane said she fell asleep, so she's good for now. Oh, good. Okay, so I don't like this outside edge. It just gave us, so this is Canva's thing. It kind of just goes wacky when it gives you an edge. I'm not sure why. Let's see, that one, it's still also kind of weird. Like why can't it make the rest of something in the image over there on the side? And it's not doing a very good job. So I think this one's my best bet. And then I think I might go ahead and just expand it even a little more. I don't know. I think if I expand it a little more, though, to get rid of that I'm going to see that I'm going to still lose his hand. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. I do lose more of the, let's see, of the lighthouse. Maybe I'll just go there to the red. Okay. So I'm going to hope that their red cut mark is true, and that even if it's not, I've got a teensy bit of my red and white lighthouse over that edge here. And then that wacky Canva fill in did its thing, and that'll just help give me something to print to the edge of the page before they cut it. So there we go. Okay, I think it all looks okay. I'm going to delete my template and kind of give it a once over again. Just a little look. I feel like my image got really way wider. Hang on. Yeah, it got way wider. Okay, I need to, all right. I just took an image from one of the other pages. I was like, this feels way too wide, and it was. So I went ahead and put that other image over the top so I could see the size, dragged the size of this one over to meet it. And now I have a perfectly sized image. So now this is going to be page 8. Our left pages are even. And I'm going to just get this current page. It's already turned up to the max, and download. And then we're going to go back to get the next page. This is our last one because the back page will be the cover. So now we're going to have a right page. Share here. Duplicate this and move it down. Get rid of this content. And paste our other content. And we're in the fold again, so I'll have to see what's going to be missing. And put this, actually I want to put that there. I'm putting my page number down in Canva's bounding box, safe print zone. Their safe print zone is huge, but that's because they assume that people are going to be printing on their home printers, and your home printer definitely has a huge safe zone that it doesn't print in. It doesn't, most home printers don't print edge to edge printing like a regular, like a professional printer does. So now we're going to have to see what's going to get cut off on this one. And I think we'll take it into Photoshop because, well, it looks like his tail's going to make it in there, actually. So actually, we're okay. I was worried we were going to lose his tail, but it makes it within the red bounding box. We lose the tail of the pigeon. That's okay. And like a bit of its tail. We lose part of a rock, part of the rock down here, part of the sky. No biggie. Okay, so I'm okay with that, actually. And then I'm going to remove that, make sure it still looks nice. We'll call this page 9. And we're going to download just the current page. It's already turned all the way up to the highest quality. Oh, the font does look small again. You're right. Thank you, Beth. It is. My goodness. Oh, y'all, I wonder what that other book is going to look like. If it has issues like that, it's not the book printer's fault. It's definitely mine. I can't recall if we upped the font size before we did the other one or not. And I don't think this one was for Prodigy. I think this one was for Printify, the one I'm pulling from. But I can't remember now because we did a few different iterations, because when I tried doing the size they said it was, it didn't fit in their template, and then I had to do it again. So this is why it's good to download the template the printer gives you, and then instead of trying to make it the size they say, just download the template they give you, use that for your sizing, so that way you can make sure everything's really going to fit in the space they give you. Okay, so now I'm going to download this again because our first one was not good. And that is going to be page 9. Oops. I want to just deleting the other page 9 out of my downloads. Okay, so now is the fun part. Well, the proof in the pudding. We're going to see if the template worked and our images are the right size and everything's going to work in Printify. Okay, so we're going to go here to Printify. We've got the hardcover book. This is what it looks like folded shut. And then you can get up to 24 pages. This is what it looks like open. That's why the front and back cover, it makes it bigger once it's open. They show it this way, and then they show it folded open on a desk like that. So we're going to say, start designing. And we're going to say we want to choose the upper size. We want 11 by 8.5, not 8 by 8. And our background color is going to be white. You could choose whatever color you like, but I wanted white pages, like that nice stark contrast with the images. And now I already did this, which was download the design template. That's how we got the design template that we brought into Canva. And now I'm going to upload my file. And go down to, I want the cover. Oh, it's a zip. Hang on 1 second. It was a zip file because we had the 3 different options. The pink, the gray, and the images butted up against each other. So I do like the pink. I think the pink is really cute. Okay. Now let me upload the image. And it's uploading. It'll take a minute because we downloaded it as the largest size possible, which is good. We want it to print nicely. It's going to take a second to load. Okay, there we go. So now it's showing us our pure safe zone is in here. And now the reason this safe zone is so much bigger than it is on the pages is because when they create the cover, they wrap the image around the cardboard cover. So they're going to wrap part of that image is going to print all the way to the edges of the cardboard cover and then wrap around and be folded. You know, like if you ever open a picture book, you'll see that the edges are printed and folded over, and then they have that nice little corner fold. I can't remember what that's called, but it's a really little professional corner fold where it comes together at the corner. And so that's why we have this much larger area, because they need a cut area, plus they need the folding over area. But we already did all of that in Canva to make sure that it all fell where we wanted it to. And so we're happy with that. There's our cover. Now we're going to go to page 1. And that's going to be our right side. And we're going to upload page 1. And it's going to be our right page. Oh yeah, my light is really bright. I was talking about that at the beginning. I turned my light up brighter because in the daylight, the dimmer light wasn't doing anything. But now that it's getting darker out, the bright light is so bright on my face. Okay, so there is our page. You can see that it fits perfectly. Our page numbering is in there. Our text is in here. Our image is in here. It goes outside the cut edge, which is what we want. It looks great. We can see that nothing is getting cut off that we didn't want to get cut off. Happy, happy. Joy, joy. Okay, so now we're going to say, oh, did it save the cover? Yeah. Okay, saved. And now page 2. We're going to upload our first left page, which is going to be page 2. I wish you guys could hear my kitty snoring right now. It is the cutest thing ever. He has the cutest snore. Okay, so now we can see the part that's going to fall down into the book binding here, but our lighthouse makes it inside the safe zone, which is great. We've got Pip inside the safe zone. Everything looks pretty good. So now we're going to go to 3 and upload. And that'll be a right page again. And I love that this confirms it here. You say page 3 right, and you can make sure I have a right-hand side page. I have a right-hand side page they're asking for. And we're lucky here because it's a right with a picture on the right. And so we know we're going to get the most of that picture possible, which is really nice. We're going to go to page 4, upload, left page. And there we go. Again, lucky with the image at the edge of the page that is not going to go down into the book binding, so we don't have to stress about that. Our page number is in there. And we're going to upload page 5. You just want to look for all those little things. Just look at your edges, make sure your page number made it in, make sure your text isn't getting cut off anywhere. Just want to give all of those things another once over. Like, okay, here's our page number, here's our graphic, here's our text, here's our image. Everything's looking great. This is the binder side, so that's just white, no big deal. Looks great. Page 6. Upload. I'm so excited to order this one because I'm a little bit nervous about the Prodigy one. Like I said, I may have made some mistakes. They didn't give any. I like how Printify is showing us each page so we can see that we've done it correctly. Prodigy didn't have that at all. You upload the PDF, you push order, there you go. So that was interesting. But they do have the ability to sync to your site, your website. So that is nice. Okay, our page number's in there. Everything looks okay. Again, we have white going into the binder side, so that's makes things easier to make sure it's good. We're going to do page 7, and that's the right-hand side. And now I did know this lighthouse was going to get cut off here. No worries. Everything looks pretty good. I'm going to go get 8. Okay, and then this is our lighthouse is going to fall down into the binding. I went ahead and pulled it over a bit so that the part that is showing, you can still see the image down in there. And so I went ahead and pulled it over so that that weird gray part that Canva extended should end up down inside the binding where you can't see it or cut off. And then we're going to go 9. And this is our last page because we did our cover at the beginning for front and back. And his tail is going to go down into the binding. I hadn't thought about that part. It's not going to get cut off, but it is going to go down into the binding some. I think I'm okay with that because he still has his spikes. He still has his stripes. It's still such a cute picture. You still will see the tail. It'll just be going down into the binding of the book. Okay, let's hit preview. And see how it looks. We'll go to the front. There's our front. We have our little bit of pink binder here. Then they're going to show us the whole cover. Oh, it looks so cute. They actually show it 3D like a real book where you can see that the binder is going to stand up from the cover, the 2 sides of the cover. That's really nice. And we're going to go to our first page, which is the right-hand page. Very nice. That's so great. Now spread 2, I just realized that because I did images sometimes side, it'll be the same, but I think that's okay. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. They can be even, and then they'll be even again. And then the opposite. Oh, that's cute. That's so fun. And then they'll be same on the left instead of same on the right. Oh, it's so cute. I love how they show it 3D. It makes it so much more fun. Like you can really feel like you see the book. And we didn't get this with Prodigy at all. So I feel like as far as ordering process, I definitely like Printify better because Prodigy's just felt so nerve-wracking because you had to just upload it and hope if it was going to look all right or what it was going to look like. And then our last page, the images are going to butt up against each other, which I think is okay. I think that's okay. It's fun. Creates a nice contrast. And then that's the end. And then the back cover again will be here. So let's see. Do we want, so now we get to choose mockup color mode, which is realistic CMYK, or bright colorful RGB. So I'm going to choose CMYK because I created all the images in CMYK. And oh, that was something different. Beth, she said, do you need some text on the spine? That was something different that they did on Prodigy, is I put the text in on the spine on their site, not previous to uploading it. So it does look like we want to change that cover out to have some text on it. Okay, I just want to look at the coloring real quick in CMYK. And then you can choose glossy or matte paper. I think I'm going to choose glossy. I think these images will be really pretty for glossy. Oh, it's taking a very long time to open them. Cover for a minute? Okay. Yeah, I think the CMYK looks good. Beth says this title seems skewed to the right a little. Yeah, it is on purpose. That's how I wanted it. I didn't want it centered. I wanted it right aligned. Because the title is right aligned, and then the author, me, is right aligned with it. It's a right aligned text. So I kind of wanted it right aligned on the page as well versus centered. If I centered my author name underneath, then I would center the whole thing centered with the image. So I like that, but now I do want to add some text to the spine of the book. So let's go to the cover, and let's go back to our Canva text to the spine of the book. I'm just going to get a heading, and I'm going to write Pips Glowing Heart. And I'm going to turn it to 90 degrees. Oops. I'm going to move it up here. Make it a little bit smaller because we don't want it to go over onto the front or back cover at all. So actually I'm going to zoom in here. We want it pretty small. And then I'm going to zoom back out a little. I'm going to put it there, and then I'm going to copy that text and put it here. And I actually want to see spine of a book text. I see how a spine of a book is laid out. Yeah, okay, so the title starts at the top and goes down like this. They show that you can put an image and the author across that way, or the author and then the title, author, the title, short word title here, image, author. Okay, so I think I'm going to do it this way, like this first one, where the title starts at the top and goes down, and then the author is after that. So we'll go back to, and I'm just going to say by Blume, Bauer. And I feel like those might still not be small enough. Oh yeah, it's 18 point. Okay, something to keep in mind on a book, on anything printed, 18-point font. So the size fonts we use on the internet and on things that people need to see visually on their phone or on a computer or on iPad, we do a lot bigger text, a lot bigger everything. On a printed document, we have to remember that like 11-point font is usually the inside of a book. And then, titles are anywhere from 20 to 36 ish. But then they can also be exaggerated, like we did an exaggerated one. But for this spine, 18 is really big font. If you think about, a regular font that you read is 11, and then 12 is kind of a bigger font to read inside of a book, and then a title font, it like you start to the fonts are really big once they're printed. So I'm going to go a little bit smaller. Oh, if it will let me. Okay, I'll just do it this way. I'm going to go down to, I think 15 sounds good to me. I wonder if that said had a font size. No. And the fatter your book is, the more chunky your font could be in that spine. But our book isn't fat. So we want teeny little thin writing here. And I think I might even go smaller. I think I'm going to go, I don't know, 14. Let's try 14 and see if I don't want it to show on the front or back cover when it's folded shut. So let's see what this does. So I'm putting the title and then the author. Do I want them closer? I want to make sure they're lined up. So I'm going to go to position and I'm going to go to arrange and make sure they are centered. And then I'm going to center them with this also. Okay. Oh, maybe not. Is this centered? It's not. Okay, now it is. Now I'm going to center that. Oh, nope. I think I'm going to make this smaller. Oops, I don't want to mess with the text, just the box. I'm going to make this box smaller, but I do want it to go somewhat on either side underneath the image. That way there's no white, no accidental white showing. Okay, so then I'm going to go here, here, here. Make sure those are centered. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm going to make sure that's centered on the seam. Okay. Okay, let's see how that looks. I'm going to say cover with spine text. And I'm going to just download the current page. It's already at maximum quality. Download. And we're going to upload that to our file again. I'm going to delete this one and wait for that other one to download. It's still trying. Working. It's still working. And I'm going to upload. There's my text. I'm looking at that, Beth. Beth said, what about dark gray on the spine on the pink. It does start to get lost once it's dark gray. I think I like white. I think it'll be easier for kids to see from the bookshelf, kind of thing. Okay, let's go to preview and see what it looks like on the preview. That might change my mind too. I want to make sure the text didn't fall over into the cover once it's folded flat. Okay, good. There's no text. We just see the little bit of pink edge. That's great. And then when we open the cover, what do we see? We're so close. Yeah, I like it. I think white's good. I think the gray is going to be too dull up against the pink, because the pink is already like a duller, darker pink. If it were like a really bright pink, I think the charcoal might look good on there. Like, might be easier to read, but with the white, I think that'll be easier to read and find the book and all that. Okay, and the text size looks really good. I'm happy with that. Oh, Beth likes the white also now. Yeah, I mean, I think because that pink is so dark, then like a dark color on a dark color isn't as easy to read. Okay, so I'm loving it. I think it's great. I wanted to see the last pages in CMYK. It just takes a minute to load, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to switch to RGB since I saved all the images in CMYK. So this looks really good. I'm really happy with it. I really love that the pages alternate. Some have the images on the outside, some have them on the sides, some have them on the other sides. I like that. I like that there's some variation in the pages. I'm really happy with it. I think it's pretty cute. I'm going to go to mockup, because if you ever get to do that, you should. That way you can show off the book in whatever ways you want. I'll open up what the mockup looks like too and see. Let me get rid of that. Oh, that's the templates. Oh, it just downloads that mockup we're looking at. Okay, so that's good to know. So I'm going to download a mockup of each of the pages, because I might need them later to mark it with. And I don't know if I'll be able to get them later, so it's better to download them now. So I'm going to open each one and download the mockups and see. I mean, I'm probably not going to advertise, show the entire book in mockups, but it's nice to have the different pages to create intrigue, to run ads, all the different things we're going to want to do with it later. I'm even thinking we'll make a little video of Pip doing something to get people excited about the book. So I'm downloading each one. Oh, this is so fun. I have always wanted to make a children's storybook. In fact, I have this. It's funny that this is the idea I went with, because it was just a recent creation. The monsters were a recent creation. And so I thought that would be fun to write the story with. I hadn't even thought that we would take it this far and keep making the storybook. But I actually, when I started AI art, I had always wanted to make a storybook, but never had. And when I learned how to do AI art, my first thing I ever did was start creating this character for the storybook that I wanted to make. And so I'm really excited if this comes out nice. I definitely want to work on that original story that I had in my mind to create for later. Okay, so now I'm going to save Beth says you need an interior title page. Maybe. It'll have this page will just be a white page. A lot of storybooks start like that. There's just a white page and then the story starts. I think that's okay, since we have the cover and then it jumps into the story. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Save the book. And now I have all my downloads. There's the mock-ups. There's the book. Glossy, matte. Oh, to add to the listing, I can offer both. I think I'm just going to offer glossy for now. And I'm going to say save selection. And now I'm going to hit publish. Oh. Oh, I see. Something down here. I'm going to worry about this stuff later when we upload it to the website. General product safety regulation. Okay, yeah. So we need that. Tags are in here already. We could do the primary color is, I'd say it's gray. Secondary color, we'll say pink. There's not a holiday. We're not offering personalization. We're offering standard shipping, and we can offer economy as well. It's only a few cents less. But that's kind of nice when people can see the two options and choose. And then down here we can do edit the price. They're suggesting that we do offer it for $26.30. The cost is $12.35. That gives you a profit of $10.43. I'm fine with that for now. When we add it to the website, we'll do some research on price and write some copy to add to the listing and all of that. So for now, I just need enough of the information filled out so that I can go order one. And I'm going to say hide in store for now. And looks good. Publish. Oh, it's still wanting me to do something else. This will appear after publishing. Okay. I'm good with that. Unsave changes. What else does it want me to check? Like, what else do you want me to check? Okay. Publish. Publish. Why? It has the information. I'm not sure why it's not letting me publish. Let me see. Optimize listing. Check out, place it. Reselect all. Edit design, grow tools. I don't need that. Just try. It just keeps taking me back to here. Maybe it wants me to add something to the description. Pips. Glowing heart. Story by, yeah, I'm going to say Blume, Bauer, and AI. We're going to write something better later, but just seeing if that's why it, no. Okay, maybe take that off. Publish. No. Publish. I don't understand. Why are you doing this? Silly, silly thing. Publish. Oh, well, this is disappointing. Assign shipping profile. That's fine. Offer free shipping. Now that is something I would normally do, is mark this up $5 more and then have free shipping, because it just feels better that the book is $30 and then there's no shipping. But I'm just trying to get an example, or get a, order a, wow, it will not let me. Okay, let's hear. Cannot choose publish on picture book. It keeps taking me to the EU requirements section, but I have the check mark box selected and text inside of product safety information. Let's see what happens. Now we're on customer service. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I wasn't expecting this. Okay. Turn on the GPSR setting in your store. Add the required product information, which it is here. I did turn on the GPRS before. Publish or republish your product. More guidance, this article. Okay, I'm looking at the article they gave me. I did turn on the GPSR for Europe. Add the required product information. This is the information. Let's see here. Yeah, it has product information, product representative. Okay. Well, it says copy original info. If you have previously updated your product, finally publish the new product, ensuring that the description box is checked. Okay, maybe the description box isn't checked. That's checked. Is there a description box in addition to that? All selected. Well, I might have to let you guys go and figure it out. I don't know why. Sharing compliance, other required product information. Okay, it says to add the safety information, but it says info paste. Yeah, that's the same info. Maybe put the product features in again. That seems weird. I could try that. Nope, it still does not like that. It's very unhappy with my selection. Oh my goodness. Well, I am going to have to figure this out and get back to you guys. I'll let you know what happens. I don't want to keep you on while I try to do customer service or figure out why it won't do it. It just will not publish. It just keeps coming to this same area here. I've got a title. I've got a description. I've got the EU stuff turned on. Information in here, generic two-brand 2-year brand warranty, where it's printed. Um, it has everything. So I'm not really sure why it's doing this. So I'm going to have to figure it out and see. Darn it. I was so excited to order this right in front of you gals tonight and say, look what we did. But instead, this is what we're doing. Yeah, that light is real bright once it gets dark in here. I think I might just leave it dimmer so that it's not so bright at the end. Anyway, thank you, ladies, for joining me. Thanks for your tips. Thank you for the pink spine idea, Beth. I really love that. And thanks for reminding me to put text on the spine. You know, it's so funny. I didn't even think to do it because when we did the Prodigy version, it had us type in the text that we wanted on the spine, and then it had us choose the size and in the font even. So it was really interesting. Delane said, we learned so much even when you have a problem. It could happen to us, and now we know it can be done. Yeah, you know, I mean, this kind of stuff does happen, especially the first time you order a product, you know, something new that you haven't ordered before. So I'll just have to get on with customer service and try to find out what's wrong and why it's not letting me hit publish. There's got to be, I think it's something to do with those EU settings, but it just doesn't want to. Gosh, it's just driving me crazy. I almost want to just have it off, but then it says, no, you need to have that on. Yeah, either way, it just comes back to that same part of the page. So I will find out, and I'll keep you posted when we do the next part of this series. The next part will be when we get the samples in hand and I can show you what they look like against each other. Is the Prodigy one any good? We have no idea. They didn't show us any examples of what it will look like. Printify did an excellent job. It showed us every page. It showed us the cover. It showed us in actual 3D, like what the book printed will actually look like, which was really fabulous. So I'd say for ordering purposes, that as far as a picture book like this, I think Printify is the winner so far, but we will see the quality when they both come out. It's totally possible that Prodigy takes that PDF file and maybe they make adjustments if there are any issues. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just print it as is and you get what you get. You pay what you pay, you get what you get. We will find out. But thank you again for joining me, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your Monday night. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Good night. Good night. Mwah. Love you all.